from one massive company to another. Now we have our final fireside conversation with LVMH and Gruppo Florence, one of LVMH's suppliers. And we're going to be looking into how they're looking at ecological transformation. So please welcome to the stage Attila and Helene. Hello, hello. How are we doing? All good?
Yes, okay.
Yes. Keeping the energy up, I love it. Please can you introduce yourselves? Tell us what your roles are and what your responsibilities are. And I'm interested by the first question I asked to the first panel. What have you been inspired by so far at Change Now? Helene, let's start with you.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I'm Helene Valade. I'm in charge of the environmental strategy at LVMH. And I'm also very active outside LVMH on CSR topic. In particular, I chair the CSR Observatory, an NGO that brings together more than 100 companies, another way to work on transformation and on collective intelligence. And yes, we are in a beautiful place, and I think Change Now is this year particularly interesting because it is focused to COP30, and it is also focused to the celebration of the anniversary of the Paris Agreement.
Yep.
And it's probably the opportunity to take stock of what we have done and we haven't done, and also the opportunity to to imagine, to create together the next steps.
Love it, brilliant. Attila, tell us, who are you and what's your relationship to LVMH as well?
So first of all, it's working? No.
Keep chatting. Let's see. No, just speak into it. Da-da-da. There you go.
Thank you. Yeah, it's better. First of all, thank you very much for the opportunity to explain you what is also behind the chain of the brands, because the brands are cooperating and we feel like a strategic partner for the big brands. And I think that it's very important to understand what's happening in the supply chain. My group is working in the supply chain, which is the biggest part of impact that our sector are having on the environment. So it's very important how we act in the supply chain. Gruppo Florence was born 4 years ago. The Italian supply chain, which is the biggest part of the luxury and fashion production, especially in the high level. The Italian supply chain is very, very fragmented. We have like 60,000 small entrepreneurs in Italy working in the luxury supply chain. So these 60,000 small companies are very fragmented, and all the issues that we have to face when we talk about sustainability are very difficult for a small company, for a small family-owned company. So in some way, I'm playing with the word. Sometimes I say that the sustainability is not so easy to be sustainable for these small companies. So what we did in Gruppo Florence, that we aggregated some of these excellent companies, all these companies working with the big players, mostly French players or Italian or American players, but the French players are very important for the Made in Italy. And this cooperation is very, very important. So I'm very happy when Helene used the definition that we are strategic partners, because it means that we are more than simple suppliers. We can do something together. I give you just a couple of examples. When you want to reach any kind of target for a brand to improve the impact in environment, first of all, you have to measure where you're starting from, and then you have to give some targets. So you have to collect information. When you collect information from so fragmented supply chain, it's quite difficult for a brand to understand where I am starting from. So, which is my target, because you have to collect a lot of information from small entrepreneurs, and this information for these small entrepreneurs is a pain when they receive this kind of request from the brand.
It must be very time intensive as well.
Because it's very difficult. So in an aggregation, what we created, we created an industrial group, and we centralized some activities. So in the single companies, we still do what we historically do in these companies, because there is a tradition in Italy to make shirts, to make denim, to make leather, to make any kind of product, knitwear, any kind of product. But then they are not specialized how to cooperate with the brand from the point of view of how to collect the information, how to give this information to the brand, because the brand needs this information. And then when you have the information, then you can make the action, how to improve. So this is just an example how a group like Gruppo Florence can cooperate in a higher level, like a partner with a big brand or big brands of the luxury.
And Helen, LVMH is a mammoth, complex organization. It must be full of opportunities, but it also must be full of challenges. Let's start with how you engage your supply chain to accelerate that wider ecological transformation journey. And what are the biggest challenges as part of your initiatives that you set up?
Yeah, at LVMH we have two convictions. First conviction, it is absolute. We need to transform business to face a world with plus 3 or 4 degrees Celsius, and we need to join forces to make this transformation a success. Because regarding environmental challenges, nothing can be achieved alone. We need synergies, we need collaborations, we need coalitions, and we need, in short, solidarity within our 75 maisons in LVMH, yes, and also with our suppliers. Because it's very important to support our suppliers and their transition, and it's exactly what we done with Antoine Arnaud a year ago. We announced a new action plan called Life 360 Business Partners to support our suppliers in their environmental transition. And what are the biggest challenges? In other words, what are the most useful actions for our suppliers? I think the most useful is first harmonize a collection of ESG data and audits, because our suppliers waste their time answering the same question from Chanel, Hermes, Dior, and so on. And yes, we are working on this harmonization with our professional federations.
With all of the other,
yes,
brilliant.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nice.
Like Fédération de la Haute Couture et de la Mode.
Yeah.
And the second part of this new program is to share our knowledge, providing our suppliers with our own training catalog on water, biodiversity, carbon trajectories. And third, dialogue for innovation. Because I think we need to be agile to identify together the best way to improve the environmental footprint of production, of manufacturing. It is what we propose to do together. And yes, I'm very happy and very proud to be on stage with you, with one of our strategic partners.
Thank you. Thank you. I think I can add that the big challenge is to harmonize. I think this is a word that I could repeat also for my side, because the brands are trying to harmonize themselves, and a group like LVMH, of course, can help all the sector to be harmonized, because they are leaders and they can be first movers in some way from this point of view. And also inside my organization, I need to harmonize, because I am aggregating entrepreneurs. I'm aggregating very small players, talented people, number one in his niche sector of trading some materials, the leather, the knitwear, any kind of fabric. So I'm aggregating many small number ones and let them work together. Let them work together with management, because in my group, then I created some management. So I have entrepreneurs and managers in my group. All my entrepreneurs are selling their companies to the group, and then they became shareholders of the same group. So my entrepreneurs are still entrepreneurs at group level. So the challenge for me is how to harmonize this heterogeneous group, because I have managers, I have investors, some private equity helping me to make this aggregation, and I have the entrepreneurs, and I need to let them work together. So they have to have a common vision to see what we are doing. And one of the mission that we always say that we want to become a partner. So this is why I'm so happy that you recognize this in us, because we want to show that if we work together in some way, we can more easily to respond on all the challenges that the brands are asking us, because the brands need our help to make their plans, because they are going through the supply chain to implement their plans. So the challenge is very similar even from the other side.
I love that. So collaboration with competitors and harmonize, bring entrepreneurs together. Tell us about some success stories around transformation at LVMH.
I can give you many success stories with our suppliers. First, maybe with our farming and breeding partners, we have transformed the farming and livestock practices through regenerative agriculture practices. This is the case with our cotton supplier, with our wool suppliers, and moving to regenerative agriculture means organic fertilizers, means the end of the monoculture, and better soil quality that can store carbon and retain water, but introducing new practices almost leads lower yields. And it's important to compensate this, agreeing to pay more for regenerative cotton from regenerative wool. Other examples of success stories with our partners to reduce the environmental footprint of production. For example, tanneries are very water intensive, and we are co-innovating with our partners to reduce water consumption, or with our glass partners who manufacture the perfume bottles. We co-invest in electric ovens that allow to reduce the carbon footprint of production. And of course, success stories with our partners in fashion. In fashion, circularity is absolutely key. Yeah. Circularity means eco-design, repair, second life. And yes, I think we are at the beginning of this circularity revolution, and we are making this revolution together with our partners. We work, for example, with Return, and with Return we develop a system for sorting and reusing manufacturing offcuts in textiles. And we share this method with our manufacturing partners. And yes, I hope and I'm sure, especially with Gruppo Florence, we'll continue to co-create, to co-innovate, to advance circularity loops in textile sectors.
I love it.
Thank you, Helene. I think from our side, the first success that I would mention is to be able to show that in Italy, in a country where everything is fragmented and apparently is impossible to make system because everybody is doing his own job and they are small, and it seems to be that they are destined to remain small. We demonstrated that it's possible to create a system. We aggregated 38 small companies. It means 38 leaders, because all these companies are leaders, sometimes second, third generation leaders on their sector. We unified these people and we created a group together, and we are able to work together. I think is a first success.
Nice.
Then I can mention one of the successes that also Helene mentioned with Return. We cooperating with Return. We started to cooperate with Return. Return is a project that is a startup that was helped and sustained by LVMH Group. So this is a project that in some way we have in common with a very good entrepreneur on the head of Return. And this company was looking for an industrial partner, especially in Italy, for the project. So we made a circular project, recycling and using materials that Return managed from the big brands. And we create new products from these materials. So we became a strategic partner also through this startup together. So this is another success.
Proper collaboration. I love it. Well, look, I think we've just lived and breathed the fact that you guys are coming together, small, big, really making impact. So thank you so much for sharing what it's like in such a big organization in your supply chain. Guys, if we could get a round of applause for Attila and Helene. Thank you. Thank you. Brilliant.